Hi, everyone. Welcome.
Welcome.
We are running a little late. Siobhan is in Sweden,
Yep.
which is so much fun. Siobhan, is it cold?
It's a little chilly. I'm usually a bad person to ask because I'm really cold tolerant. So, like, even around here, people are already wearing coats, and I didn't even bring one. I just have, like, my knit sweaters and cardigans, and for me, that's enough. So, a little bit
Wow.
chilly, I would say.
Wow. So I have to ask, and I'm going to ask if you'll take a few minutes. Can you give people a sort of quick overview of the Congress, the Lipedema Congress that you just finished? It was in Rome this past weekend.
Yes, so my first leg of my trip to Europe was actually to go to the World Lipedema Congress in Rome, and it was so cool. I really like each one because a lot of researchers give like previews to stuff that's been submitted for publication but maybe isn't ready yet. So you get kind of sneak peeks on a lot of the science. But then there's also a lot of clinicians who contribute, and then also a lot of patients and patient advocacy groups. So you have equal representation, which is something that they talked about as what they had intentionally done. So the patients had always been involved every single step of the way, including in their consensus statements. They're using the Delphi method, which I don't fully understand, but it helps kind of get a worldwide perspective on what's commonly agreed on with lipedema and then what is more contested and needs more evidence. So it kind of helps set the direction for where we need to go next. So
Yeah.
it was split over a few different days. And of course, I really liked the early session on Saturday, the last day, which was all about ketogenic diets and nutrition in general, different things that they're doing, new research that's coming out. There was one on plant based diets that was ketogenic that they're trying out, which helps clarify like additional options for people if they want to combine the two. There was also a couple on anti inflammatory or non inflammatory diets that seem to be having some good responses as well. So, looking more towards food quality and kind of the type of things that you're eating, not just how much or anything like that. And then there was also sessions on exercise. Joanna Dudek did a presentation on her ongoing survey-based research on pregnancy and lipedema, which is so important. It was the only topic that covered the only talk that covered that topic, and it's like we need to have like a whole session on this next time. Um,
We talked about it in the staff meeting because you were
yeah,
so excited about it. So, in the new year, we're going to have a session on pregnancy and lipedema.
yeah, and that's what's so cool about going to these Congress events is you can kind of put your fingers on the pulse of the lipedema community and see like where the gaps are, both in kind of what people are saying, but also what's not being said at the event of like, wait, where's this topic at? Another one that I didn't see represented there was on yoga, which is another thing we'll be talking about as we move forward through the new year. But there was just so much stuff on like the research that's being done on lipedema tissue. And what's really interesting is that they would divide it out over stages, and they had obesity control groups or comparison groups. And it would be like in stage one, there's a decent amount of overlap, but then stages two and three, they're completely diverging on these different things that they're looking at, which means that it is unique tissue. It lends more support to the credibility of the diagnosis. It helps us understand what's similar, what's different with obesity, and there's just a lot of good coming out with that. So I'll highlight two additional things just to keep this short. But number one is there was an update to a avenue they're looking to kind of help diagnose lipedema, which is a type of kind of like pain sensitivity or sensation sensitivity with microfiber filaments. Microfiber might not be the right word, but microfilaments basically. So they're testing how sensitive the tissue is to different types of things like heat, cold, vibration, pressure, things like that. And They had presented at the last Congress and found there was some interesting stuff. But then with this one, they expanded their group. So the original one was in women with lipedema without obesity. They were on the lower BMI side, so kind of trying to rule out obesity and other comorbidities and stuff like that. And they did find a difference comparing between the hand as kind of a self control. So each person was their own control, just checking between hand and thigh. So it was higher sensitivity on pressure and then lower sensitivity on vibration on the thigh. And then their hands would be normal. And they have lots and lots of data to compare to because this is a method that's been used for lots of other stuff. And so with this one, they expanded it out to normal BMI and I think also overweight. And they found the exact same pattern. And so this is something that could potentially be explored. They do need to repeat it with larger groups of people, all of that caveating included. But again, it points towards the pain and sensitivity of lipedema being a legitimate, real thing that is happening and something that's unique and identifiable through this method. So maybe this is something we could send people to help lend towards a diagnosis if further research supports these types of conclusions. And then the other one was that a clinician had put together a 5-point questionnaire to help screen for lipedema. And it was things like disproportion, pain, difficulty losing weight, like really simple stuff, but something that any clinician could ask. And basically, he had a scoring system where it's like 0 to 2, unlikely to be lipedema, 2 to like 4 or something like that is, might be lipedema, do some further investigation. And then if you have all 5, it's like this person probably has lipedema. So kind of similar to the one pager that we have, but again, looking for ways to increase the number of diagnoses, making sure it's accurate, so sensitive but also specific, not leading to a lot of false diagnoses. Lots of really, really great work. And as these papers are published, we'll of course bring them up here as well to talk about them and yeah, just continue the conversation. But there's tons and tons and tons of stuff going on. And what's really awesome is just the breadth of different researchers and clinicians and patients all coming together to look at this. And then I know I said 2 things, but I'll include one more, which is at the end of the Congress, they opened up the mic to anybody to come forward and say, what do you want to see in the next 2 years? Because the next Congress is going to be the year after next, and whoever wanted to come up could come up. I came up, there's a bunch of different people who just said, I think that this should be looked at. I think that this should be looked at. I'd like to see more stuff on this. I'd like to see more stuff on pregnancy, more stuff on hormonal testing, all different things. And then they were actually writing them down. And of course, there's funding going into different research. And then there's also an ideas bucket through there. So just lots of thought and care put into how to move this forward, and how to get to where we want to be, because we're definitely not there yet, but there's a lot of work being done to get us closer and closer to where clinicians will be happy, patients will be happy, diagnoses will be coming in whenever they're needed, and help will be given as quickly as possible. So that is a very hopeful thing.
What did you say? Where did you want to see us in 2 years?
Oh, I was a little bit selfish on that one. I mentioned that I'd like to see further research being done into the connective tissue connection, the morphological phenotype found in Williams syndrome. So they have the lower body disproportion, the cuffing. They can progress into lymphedema with obesity that can also occur. So it's kind of a mysterious connection because you don't see the cuffing everywhere. And one of the possible connections is through connective tissue because they might have a functional deficiency in elastin.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing that I said was I wanted to see research being done into a possible autoimmune cause of lipedema, specifically targeting the connective tissue. Yeah, so
Excellent.
just a thought from But
That's
what's interesting is a researcher came up and said, I want to look into what you're talking about. Give me more details on what you mean by that. It's like, oh, okay, sure.
mhm. This is great. And then the other thing that I heard, because someone posted it on Instagram, was that the next one in 2027 is going to be here in the US.
Yes. Yeah, they did announce that. So they announced that the next one is going to be the year after next, and that it's going to be held in the US, which I appreciate very much. I do like coming to Europe, but hopefully by then my husband will be in the US. Um, but yeah, specifically, they said the state that they're considering is Virginia. So that will be interesting. I don't know that I've ever been to Virginia, but I've heard good things about it.
That's interesting. That's drivable for me.
Cool. Yeah, that would be nice if they end up going with that one.
Yeah, yeah. I was thinking they were going to do on the West Coast, so that's great.
I have no idea. Like, I can understand picking some place where, like, booking the venue and everything is going to be cheaper because you want, like, more money going towards the research and less towards the actual Congress.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's their reasoning. They could have any other number. The proximity to DC so that they can hop over there and go tap people's shoulders about it. Who knows?
Mhm.
Um, Complete guesses on my part. But yes, very interesting choice, and it would be nice if they
Guesses.
go with that.
Good guesses. Good guesses.
Yeah, I have no idea. But that's the first thing I think of Virginia is just proximity to DC, pretty much.
Yeah, actually. And well, also proximity to major airports.
True. Yes, definitely true.
Yeah.
And the other thing is like the venue expense is not a small thing because the first Congress they had about 400 people. This time it was 800 attendees. Um, so it's going up, and I wouldn't be surprised if it goes up again um, with the next one. So they're going to probably need a pretty big venue.
Wow, that's pretty great. Oh my.
Yeah, it really shows that the interest is growing, which is really excellent.
Yeah, really. Oh my God, that's really wonderful. I'm having a leg cramp, which
Ooh,
is pretty significant. So talk, because
yes.
I have to
So
stand.
yeah, please do. But things that are coming up. So with that, also we should mention there's so much stuff that happened at the Congress that we cannot cover it all here. So we will be doing a webinar to talk about it, and we'll have Joanna and Ala both joining. They were both at the Congress. I got to hang out with both of them. We had great conversations. So all of us three are going to do a webinar talking about the Congress more in depth, so that you don't just get like the 5 to 10 minute recap that we're doing here. So look out for that. I don't remember if we have a date yet, but we'll send whatever information we can through email.
We have
And then, of course, we'll also talk about
we do have a date. It is Sunday, November 30th.
Sunday, November 30th. Okay, so save the date. Save the date and definitely come to that because there's a ton to talk about, and it's going to be super great. And then the other thing that is imminently coming up is we do have our holiday CSIG. So a CSIG, if you're not familiar, is a coaching special interest group. It's basically a group where there's presentations once a week and then a check-in once a week, different points in the week. And this one is focusing on the holidays. So we know that getting through the holidays with all the lifestyle stuff involved, even just all the stress and food stuff and everything that comes with that can be really difficult for people. So we put our CSIG together to help give community and some more support and all of that good stuff. And that will be starting on Monday. Yes, kind and gentle keto through the holidays, I believe is this one.
That's the price, but I'm looking for the dates. Okay, here are the dates.
Yes.
Starting on November 17th and ending on December 8th.
Yes.
So it
So
starts on
right through
Monday.
that holiday season.
Yeah, so that we have hand holding, hugs, support, and fabulous keto food.
Yeah, and it's not just with lipedema, but with pretty much anything, even weight loss, chronic conditions, anything that you can think of. Holidays are always really tough.
Yeah,
Sometimes
really.
it's positive stress, sometimes it's negative stress, sometimes it's just disruption of habits, and it can be a period where a lot of people fall off or have difficulty staying consistent. So if that sounds like you, come and join. We will be providing support and resources and good, thoughtful questions about how to get through and feel more confident and more at ease and less freaked out throughout the entire thing. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. The one we did last year was really great. So I'm hoping we can top that one.
Oh, yeah. And it's going to have Siobhan Huggins, Carrie Reedy, Leslyn Keith, and I will be there as well, supporting the whole process. Wow, 3 days and one
Yeah.
hour, 10 minutes, and 7 seconds. Amazing. All right, so that's coming up. And then, how come I'm having cramps? This isn't the first time.
Have you stayed up with your electrolytes and have you had lymphatic sessions recently?
I have one tomorrow, and that'll help. I have a lymphatic session tomorrow. All right. All right, you guys. I better take some more electrolytes. I did have
Yes, definitely.
I did do more magnesium yesterday. Anyway,
Mm,
it's okay. It may mean the potassium is low.
could be.
Tomorrow, tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern time, Melissa Perrinson is going to be coming. She is one of our tribe members, and she has a lot of background on how to shop smart. She's been working in the e-commerce field for a long time, and she offered to come and do how are you going to do your holiday shopping, especially in a time when there's a crunch, with
Mm-hmm.
the whole affordability thing that's been
Yeah,
going on.
definitely.
Yeah, so I just see this as fun. Um,
Yeah. I was just thinking that's the word that came to mind. It's like, oh, that's a fun topic. We haven't
yeah,
done that one before, and it's kind of relevant to everybody. And it's just nice to be able to use our community to just cover topics that, I don't know, people need help with all the time.
yeah, and it's free. It's we're doing a number of holiday gifts for the community this year, and this is one of them. And so come,
That's fun.
and here's the link. I'm going to put it in the chat once I can get over to the chat and once I can figure this out. I'm like, okay, here it is. I'm putting it here. There it is. That's the link. Here's the link. It's our regular learn.lipedema-simplified.org/community-webinar, because this is a
Excellent.
special webinar for the community. Some other things coming up, I'm going to say real quickly, because the CSIG is the big thing, the holiday, getting through the holidays, the kind and gentle keto. Because in addition to all of that, we have for next year, we have yoga, because
Mm-hmm.
Sean mentioned that there isn't very much on yoga and lipedema. So we're doing a special um, citizen science project with using yoga and some feedback. And it's going to be very exciting. Cindy Beers, who does the yoga for our congresses, is going to be doing a 6-week class. And we also are going to be highlighting something in January for the thyroid. Um, Thyroid month is January, the way that June is lipedema awareness month. January is thyroid awareness month. So we're going to be doing something in January. And then in December, we're going to be having a town hall, which just come and hang out with us. We're going to just be talking about everything that we've done and where we're headed. And then, of course, our book is getting released. The textbook is getting released at the beginning of the year in February. So there's a lot coming up. So
Mm-hmm.
stay tuned. Send us lots of love. Send us lots of support. Because, boy, things are cooking.
Yeah, and I always want to mention for the free webinars, like the Saving Through the Holidays one, if you can't attend live, please sign up anyway because we will send you the recording. So if you can't attend at the time, but you're interested, sign up. You'll get the recording. You can watch later, and then you can still join in on the fun.
Sounds great. All right, everyone. I'm going to go look for my electrolytes and get some into me right away. Okay.
Good. Bye.
Bye. Have a good rest of your weekend wherever you are. And oh, Siobhan, so good to see you and hang out. Bye.
Yeah. Bye bye.